Welcome back to another video. You're probably wondering, where the fuck have you been, Anna? This is clearly why I'm in the bathroom right now, because I decided that I'm just gonna get my ass to film a video for you guys and stop being a perfectionist, because it is ruining many opportunities for me right now. The reason why I am making this video, I thought, why not make a life update of where I've been at, randomly disappearing off the internet for a bit, falling the face off of this earth, because it is not okay. I left you guys hanging. I know a lot of you guys are probably wanting a podcast episode, wanting a YouTube vlog of some sort, and I am just here wanting to start all over. This social media thing, it just goes through ebbs and flows. At this point, I can't say that I'm always gonna be consistent, although that is something that I do want to work on with posting on social media. But in this case, I think it's really hard because I have so many things going on in my life right now, and it's okay. We are not doing much in this video other than me getting ready. I'm just going to touch up my face with putting on some makeup, and then I'm actually gonna be filming another video after this with cooking and baking. But for this video, I wanted to do a life update. So where do I start? Also, the mirror is over here, so if I'm looking this way, I'm looking at myself with where I'm putting my makeup on my face. Okay, where do I start? As much as I want to put everything on this video, I'm also gonna make a podcast episode, but since it's been a while since I gave you guys, oh my god, hey! Since it's been a while with the last thing, I really dove deep with the last thing I updated you guys on. Obviously, I have moved out of my parents' house. Was it a struggle living there for the time being? Yes, it was. And did I learn a lot from it? Absolutely. Because from here on out, I don't think I could ever possibly live with my parents again. And I'm only saying that in like the nicest way possible because it ruined our relationship once again. But obviously at this stage, with me moved out again, our relationship has gotten better. It only gets worse if you move back in. Let's be honest. That may not be the case for a lot of people. Like, I know many people that I know of that are in their late 20s. They moved back home with their parents, or they haven't moved out yet, but they are enjoying every single bit of it because they actually get along with their family. They get along with their parents. Wow, what a surprise right there. That can't be me. That really can't be me. And it's okay because I've learned a lot of lessons along the way, and I think I'm just a lot more independent, as I always have been, I think. Actually, well, I have been dependent for a lot of my childhood and early teen years, but as I was growing up, it really redirected back to me with how I wanted to live life, and the way that my parents wanted me to live my life was not cutting it. Grabbed a little wet wipe. All I can say is that I'm happy that stage of my life is over and I am back to having my own space, creating my own boundaries, and not being disturbed with what is going on in the house, because that was something that was really struggling for me on a day-to-day basis living at home. Next thing, what have I been up to lately? Like, girl, where have you been? I have been running a matcha business. And I have so many things on the side that I'm doing as well that I haven't been able to really film content, but it's okay. It's okay because in the end, I know I'm always going back to YouTube and posting anyways, but it just takes time for me to actually put it up. If you haven't watched my recent vlog, that was over a few months ago, so I shouldn't say it was recent. I ended up doing this little summer side quest that ended up turning out to be more than just a side quest, because here we are. It feels like a full-time job, but it doesn't feel like a job at all. I started falling in love with the kitchen again, just like cooking and baking, making matcha for myself, and that's when I just moved out. I had the kitchen all to myself. It felt good to have all my things in place and where I wanted it to be. Every single morning I would make a matcha. I would learn how to actually whisk matcha properly and learn the origins of it, where it came from, and learning to live back into like the slower paced lifestyle that I used to live when I was living on my own, but with my boyfriend obviously, but you know, not living with my parents. I ordered a bunch of plastic cups and lids on Amazon because I ended up making matcha for my friends and family. And then obviously in my entrepreneur mind, I thought it would be such a cool thing to start selling matcha drinks because I was experimenting with different kinds of drinks, and honestly, it was just so therapeutic. This whole time that I've had my matcha business for, it's only been 4 months. I've never seen a business like this rapidly grow with all the businesses that I've done in my early 20s. I've made many businesses in the past that successfully failed, that I just didn't know how to keep going with it. But that never failed me to keep going, because failure doesn't scare me. I'm not afraid to keep failing and learn from it. My camera fell again, but hopefully it stays back up now. Anyways, where was I? I was talking about failure. If I was afraid to keep failing, I wouldn't have started this matcha business. If you really wanted to do something, you keep going, because now I'm at this stage where lots of people are starting to know this brand that used to just be nothing. There's so many questions that you can ask me with this, like, where do I see myself in 5 years with this? Or what are your goals for this matcha business? And although I do have quite a bit of goals where I want to go with this, I'm not gonna say it. When people ask me, oh, well, what do you want to do with this if you started this business? There's things that I would love to say, but I cannot say them until they are executed. But one thing that I will pray for is that I will have a coffee trailer. I will have a cute little coffee trailer for myself that is pink. When will that happen? I'm not sure when, but I know that the goal for me and Braden, because he helps me with a lot of that stuff, is that we would want it for next year, and I know that will happen. But other than that, not saying any other things, because it's just gonna come to a time where I will eventually say what I want and you guys will be excited for it. But for now, I'm just keeping things very secretive, and it's okay. You guys understand. This whole matcha business used to just be me doing pickups and delivery on the weekend, but now that I am in the market space and doing pop-ups in random locations, that is something that has been a lot better for me in the long run and more time efficient for me that way, because doing deliveries, when you think about it, you may make some money from the drinks, but time and the gas and making the drinks, it all adds up, and that's something that I have been learning when starting this business. But yeah, that's a little fun side quest that has now turned into something more than that. I just love it because it's so much different than doing social media. Even though that I do post more on my matcha account, it's nothing really related to creating content for a brand, because this is your brand. And it's just so different in so many different ways that I just don't know how to explain it. But all I can say is that it feels so good to not be creatively burnt out. I have been burnt out for the past year or so just doing social media. It comes to a point when that's all you've been doing and creating content for yourself. There's gonna be a point where you're gonna get burnt out and you just need a break from it. Like, I just needed a good in between. I needed a good little balance of how I can keep myself creative without being burnt out, and I just found the solution for that, and that's just having other hobbies. That's just having another thing on the side that you can do that won't let you get burnt out from doing your passion. So for example, it would be social media. And I hope you guys understand, because as much as I love vlogging and stuff, I feel like that was just another pressure for me too, is having to film every single part of my life. And it's nice to see through memories, but I just can't force myself to film when I don't want to film. So I just need to give myself some grace, because I have done a lot of vlogging in the past, and it's okay to take breaks. And that's something that I just need to realize, something that I just need to learn, that if I want to do better and still keep that creative flow going, I need to set myself boundaries with it. I need to have that why, that drive to keep going, because when you lose your why, it's hard for you to get back into doing what you love. So that is that. Let's talk about, I'm going to talk about it vaguely because I'd rather have this on a podcast episode, but I wanted to talk about spirituality, and it's going to be a shocker to some people because you, or many of you, have followed me along throughout my spiritual journey and being a spiritual person for 5 years, because I started doing all this spiritual stuff back in 2021, and it has just come to a point where I am right now that I don't align with that stuff. And by that stuff is doing witchcraft. This might be a huge shocker to some, or literally to all, but for the past year, I guess, I've just felt so lost with my spirituality and where my belief was, that I've been feeling so drained. The past 6 months, I stopped getting into witchcraft and
What do you mean by doing witchcraft?
I mean healing my crystals, doing tarot readings on a full moon. It gets deeper than that because to you it may seem like there's nothing wrong with that. But from being an ex-witch, which I never called myself a witch, but I didn't even know I was doing witchcraft at the time, I was blindly seeing stuff and avoiding the truth of what it really was doing to me. But I gave my life to Jesus. I gave my life to God. No, honestly, I feel so much happier. So much weight has lifted off my shoulders, and after saying that, there's probably gonna be a lot of people that will unfollow me, but if you like me for me, like nothing else will change except my faith and where my belief is. But I just don't want to be holding on to spirits. As they say, it is your spirit guide. And I just don't believe in that. I've never felt like that was always the calling. Even though that at the time I thought it was, it does not align with me anymore.
Oh, did someone force you into this?
No, like I felt like this for so long, where at this point in my life, now being a grown adult with having your own choices, having your own beliefs, I used to believe in God when I was a kid, but that was at a point when I was forced to believing in that religion. But now that I have grown up and been through it all, where I've called myself an atheist, and I know this should have nothing to do with religion, as it could be a sensitive topic to a lot of people, but a lot of my content was through spirituality, and I don't think it would be right of me not to talk about this stuff because my whole personality, I guess, or just my whole content was just about witchcraft. And there were a lot of things that were positive, and they're still positive to me, but I just don't want to be dealing with any crystals of me trying to heal them of some sort. I just don't want to be trying to heal myself through things when I should be getting healed by the creator and not the creation. Ooh, I kind of killed that. Do you get what I'm saying? And I know it's gonna be hard because it's like, what do you mean, Anna? Like, I followed you and now what's going on? All I can say is that just be careful what you deal with when you are getting into spirituality. But of course, like, religion is spiritual as well. But I'm saying when you're dealing with anything out of the norm that has nothing to do with God and you're calling in spirits, just be careful with that stuff. I've dealt with it. I've seen things, I've felt things, I've been haunted, I've literally been cursed for years, and I just didn't see it through me. And I want to say all these things on this vlog, but I think it would just be better off in a podcast episode. So I'm just gonna be talking about surface level, where I don't want to scare you guys. And I guess to kind of end it off with this little topic is that just because that I stopped doing all of that witchcraft stuff didn't mean that I had to be a religious person. This is where I am at the age of 27, and this is what I chose for me to be in this direction. And ever since I stopped doing tarot readings, I stopped trying to figure out my future through cards, all of my nightmares have stopped. Ever since then, my nightmares have stopped. I stopped seeing demonic stuff, and I just am so happy to be out of it. That's all I can say. But one last thing. I also want to say that it did teach me a lot of things, because spirituality in itself is a beautiful thing. Crystals are beautiful, but I just threw away things that I dealt with doing witchcraft away in the garbage. I put most of them away, but other things I'm selling online. But a lot of them I just wanted to get rid of because I don't want anyone to hold those bad spirits and pass it on to someone else. Like, no, I don't want that bad juju on you. But a lot of the things that I've been seeing, I cannot unsee through discernment. Moving on, I know that was a big thing, but also I wanted to say as much as I can without saying too much, because I know there's going to be a lot of questions regarding towards that topic, but I hope that was enough. But to keep continuing on with my content, I guess you guys will see a newer version of me, still the same bitch, but not holding on to some higher unknown source anymore. Moving on. I'm going to the Philippines next week. I have 5 more days before I end up leaving, but I am going to the Philippines for 1 month, and I'll be going with my whole fam and Brayden, which is my boyfriend. It will be his first time ever going to the Philippines, but it will not be his first time going to Asia because we were in Bali as of last year. I have also felt like I've done such a rebrand of everything in my life and just my lifestyle I've cleaned up a lot of things that I just did not want anymore in the house. Things that I just don't feel like is me anymore. With that being said, the crystals, specific books that I used to read, clothes that I used to wear, decorations in the house that I thought once were me, but it doesn't feel like that anymore. And it's okay to like let go of certain things. It's weird though, because coming back to all the spiritual side of me, the past version of me of being a spiritual person, I just don't see eye to eye with a lot of the things or a lot of the decor that I had around the house. I will say that it has brought me so much joy. We are gonna be moving out after this lease is up because it just does not feel like a home to us. And if you guys watched my past vlog, I mentioned at the end of the video that my dog ended up being attacked when we moved in here. And I'm telling you again, a bitch was freaking cursed. Demonic shit has been following me for years and I just avoided that. I thought it was my spirit guide. I rebuked that shit in the name of God. Anyways, yeah, so my dog got attacked at the beginning of this year from my neighbor's dog. Amazing, I know. But that has given me PTSD ever since. That's not the first time that my dog has been attacked. And the crazy part is that my dog has been attacked twice by 2 black dogs. And honestly, at that point, the devil took over and was taking over me at one point. And also where we are living at, this location is horrendous with construction. It feels so far out to everything that we do when we want to go out and run errands. Yes, there is a lot of grocery stores nearby, but the way to get to our place, it's literally a maze. So we have moved so many times, but as we've been moving in different houses, we just know what we want every single time, and there's lessons learned through every single move-in. I don't want to be missing anything that I've said so far with my updates, but as of lately, I've also been waking up really early. Like this morning, I woke up at 5:45 and I actually got to the gym by 6:30. I've been having such a hard time waking up, and I was getting in these little, in quotations, depressive moments of doing nothing because I get overwhelmed by everything and not getting anything done, or I just was feeling so sad that I end up just laying in bed and not getting shit done. It sucks that I am leaving in 5 days now that I am getting into such a good routine with waking up early and going to the gym and actually getting my tasks done. It's going to suck when I come back because I will be jet lagged, and then hopefully I don't get back to square one because it is not fun when you're unproductive. And this is literally my whole thing. I love being a productive queen, but the whole being unproductive part, that's not me. So you need to take action of that and acknowledge that I need to do better, because it will not get me anywhere if I keep continuing on to start my day late or literally do nothing the whole day. So it's really nice to feel like I'm getting this spark back, but in such a different way where I don't really know how to explain it, but I know good things are coming. And yeah, was that all? I know there's so much more to say. Like, I just love being a yapper when I have something to talk about. I guess that's all. Here's my little touch up on my face with some foundation, blush, contour, did my eyebrows, have my lash clusters on. I wish it kind of took me longer because now I'm just standing here when I could be still doing my makeup and talking to you guys, but I guess that's the end of this video. I didn't realize like how easy it is to just make a video like that when you're not being a perfectionist, because that is something that I'm struggling with. Literally in every aspect of my life, I try to be a perfectionist, and it needs to clearly stop, because you wouldn't be seeing me on the internet if I just tried to perfect everything. But I love you guys so much and I missed you guys. We are now at the end of this video. I will see you guys on the next one.
Sun come out, might just waste away, don't